This is the opening statement on the website of one of the most valuable AI companies in the world. They are not hiding it. They believe they may be building something dangerous, and they are building it anyway. This is not hypocrisy, or at least that is what they say. In the same month, Anthropic raised $30 billion at a valuation of $380 billion. The United States Pentagon designated it a national security risk, a label previously reserved for foreign adversaries. Within hours, its arch-rival OpenAI took the contract Anthropic had refused. This is the story of how the AI safety company became the AI controversy company. Four companies now control the most powerful artificial intelligence systems ever built. Each has a different origin, a different mission statement, a different theory of what AI should be. All four are racing to build it faster than the others. This documentary asks a simple question. If you genuinely believe you're building something that could end civilization, why are you building it faster? OpenAI was founded in 2015 as a non-profit. Its stated goal: ensure artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity. By 2019, it had converted to a capped profit company and taken $1 billion from Microsoft. By 2021, internal tensions had reached a breaking point. A group of senior researchers, led by Dario and Daniela Amodei, decided the company had lost its way. In October 2021, 11 people left OpenAI and incorporated Anthropic. Dario Amodei, formerly OpenAI's VP of Research, became CEO. His sister Daniela became president. They named the company from the Greek root for human existence. Their founding thesis was direct. AI was moving too fast. Safety research was not keeping up. Someone had to slow down and think. Anthropic published research on constitutional AI, a method of building values directly into a model's training. It hired interpretability researchers to understand what AI systems are actually doing inside. It published a responsible scaling policy, committing to pause development if certain safety thresholds were reached. And simultaneously, it raised more money faster than almost any company in history. In January 2026, Dario Amodei published an essay warning that AI would continuously lower the barrier to destructive activity, bioweapons, cyber attacks, mass manipulation. He called for a serious global response. The same month, Anthropic closed a $30 billion funding round. The contradiction is not hidden. It is stated openly by the people doing it. Anthropic has raised approximately $44 billion in total funding. Amazon is its largest investor, $8 billion committed, plus preferred cloud infrastructure. Google has invested billions more. The Saudi Public Investment Fund, the sovereign wealth vehicle of an absolute monarchy, is also on the cap table. This is the funding base of the world's most prominent AI safety company. One early investor deserves particular attention. Sam Bankman-Fried, the crypto billionaire, later convicted of fraud and sentenced to 25 years, invested in Anthropic through his FTX Foundation. When FTX collapsed in November 2022, Anthropic stated the funds had been segregated and the relationship terminated. But the association raised questions the company has never fully answered. Anthropic's business model is enterprise software. Companies pay to access Claude through Amazon Web Services. Those companies include some of the world's largest defense contractors, financial institutions, and government agencies. The company that says it's building AI to benefit all of humanity generates most of its revenue from corporations that have their own narrower definitions of benefit. In February 2026, global venture capital had its single largest month ever recorded, $189 billion. 83% went to three companies. This is not a competitive market for AI funding. It is a concentration of capital around a handful of bets so large that losing one could reshape the global technology landscape, and the people making those bets know it. OpenAI began as a non-profit in 2015, converted to profit in 2019, and is now targeting a $1 trillion valuation. Google DeepMind, formed by merging Google Brain and DeepMind, is the engine room of the world's largest search company. xAI, founded by Elon Musk, is building Grok with the explicit ambition of achieving artificial general intelligence. And then there is Anthropic. The numbers reveal a split personality in the AI market. By enterprise workloads, companies using AI in production, Anthropic leads with 32%, OpenAI has 25%, Google 20%. In developer coding tools, Claude commands 42% market share, more than double OpenAI's 21%. But in consumer users, it is not close. ChatGPT has 800 million, Gemini 750 million, Claude 19 million. This market structure creates what researchers call the race dynamic. If any single company pauses for safety reasons, a rival takes the contract, the talent, the next round of funding. Every company understands this. Every company, including Anthropic, has publicly acknowledged it. And every company, including Anthropic, is running faster than the year before. This is not a secret. It is the stated logic of the entire industry. OpenAI reports an annualized revenue run rate of $20 billion, the largest of any AI company. Anthropic reached $4 billion in 2025 and is forecasting $18 billion in 2026. Google does not break out AI revenue. Gemini is integrated into products used by billions. The revenue is inside everything else. xAI's Grok grew from 1.6% to 15% of US daily chatbot market share in 1 year. In July 2025, Anthropic announced a $200 million contract with the United States Department of Defense. Claude became the first major AI model to be deployed in the Pentagon's classified networks. Anthropic announced it had accelerated mission impact across U.S. defense workflows. It was the company's largest government contract and its most consequential mistake. The breakdown began when a new Pentagon technology chief, Emil Michael, a former Uber executive, reviewed Anthropic's contract. He objected to clauses prohibiting military use of AI for mass domestic surveillance and autonomous weapons that fire without human intervention. The Pentagon's position: AI must be available for all lawful purposes. Anthropic's position: some lawful purposes are beyond what today's AI can safely do. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei issued a public statement. The Pentagon's threats do not change our position. We cannot in good conscience accede to their request. The Pentagon's response was personal. Emil Michael wrote on X that Amodei was a liar with a God complex who wants to personally control the US military. Within hours, OpenAI announced it had taken the contract. The Pentagon's designation, supply chain risk, had never before been applied to an American company. It required all defense contractors to certify they were not using Anthropic's models. Meanwhile, the Washington Post reported Claude was being used in U.S. military operations against Iran through Palantir, a defense software company, via the very contract now in dispute. Anthropic sued the federal government on 9th March 2026. OpenAI's deal contained, according to Sam Altman, the same safety limitations Anthropic had demanded, but framed differently. Anthropic wanted explicit contractual prohibitions. OpenAI agreed to vague language and said the limits were in the agreement. In an internal memo, Dario called the OpenAI deal safety theater. The main reason they accepted, and we did not, he wrote, is that they cared about placating employees. We actually cared about preventing abuses. As of this script's writing, Anthropic's lawsuit against the federal government is pending. The 24th March 2026 hearing before Judge Rita Lynn will determine whether the supply chain risk designation stands. Anthropic argues the government's claims rely on technical misunderstandings. The government argues the company poses unacceptable risk. The outcome will set a precedent for how AI companies and governments relate for decades. By consumer users, OpenAI wins. By enterprise production workloads, Anthropic leads. By ecosystem integration, Google is unbeatable. Billions of people use Gemini without knowing it. By growth rate, xAI's Grok is the most alarming number in the market. From 1.6% to 15% of US daily chatbot market share in 1 year. None of these facts tell the full story. They tell 4 different stories. The most surprising number in the AI market belongs to Anthropic. In developer coding tools, the category most closely tied to software creation and AI research itself, Claude commands 42% market share, more than double OpenAI's share. Surveys suggest OpenAI's own engineers use Claude Code for some tasks. The safety-first company has built the tool that the AI industry uses to build AI. The AI race is also a talent race. OpenAI has suffered significant departures, including co-founder Ilya Sutskever and several of its most senior researchers. Anthropic, despite being newer and smaller by consumer metrics, has become the destination of choice for researchers who prioritize interpretability and safety work. One industry analysis put it plainly: Anthropic is where the most brilliant and motivated people go. Talent is the only advantage that compounds. This is the question at the center of everything. And the answer that every AI safety company gives is a version of the same logic. If powerful AI is coming regardless, and it is, then it is better to have safety-conscious labs at the frontier than to cede that ground to those who don't care. This argument is called the safety race, or the race to the top. It has one serious problem. If every lab with safety concerns reasons the same way, that it must be at the frontier to have influence, then the result is all safety-conscious labs racing too. The race continues, the speed increases. The labs that don't care about safety race. The labs that do care about safety also race. The distinction between a safety race and an unsafe race becomes very hard to see from the outside. Anthropic published a responsible scaling policy. It commits the company to pause development if its AI crosses certain dangerous capability thresholds. Claude 1, Claude 2, Claude 3, Claude 3.5, Claude 3.7, Claude 4, each release more capable than the last. Each released faster than the model before it. The pause, as of this writing, has not been triggered. The political dimension of the AI race is real. During Anthropic's $30 billion raise, the conservative venture firm 1789 Capital, whose partners include Donald Trump Jr., explicitly declined to invest. Citing Anthropic's advocacy for AI regulation, the Trump administration's posture on AI is deregulation and dominance. Anthropic's posture is safety and governance. These are not compatible positions in the current political climate. The full Anthropic statement, the part most coverage leaves out, continues. Nevertheless, we press on. This is not a slip. It is not an accident. It is the most honest statement any AI company has made about its own situation. They know. They are doing it anyway. The question is whether that honesty is enough. There are roughly 3 futures from here. In the first, the safety-first labs genuinely influence the frontier, guardrails hold, and the technology develops without catastrophe. In the second, competitive pressure dissolves safety commitments one by one, quietly, and the race dynamic wins. In the third, governments impose external constraints before the internal ones fail. We are currently living in all 3 simultaneously. 4 companies, hundreds of billions of dollars, thousands of the world's most capable researchers, all working on the same problem, all aware of the same risks, all going faster. The question is not whether artificial general intelligence will be built. Every person in every one of these buildings believes it will be. The question is who builds it first and what they do when they get there. In 2021, 11 researchers decided OpenAI had lost its way. They started a new company to do it right. 4 years later, that company is worth $380 billion. It is suing the United States government. Its AI is reportedly being used in an active war, and it is still, officially, a safety company. Draw your own conclusions.